Today we'll be talking about us, more about
And what
us.
made us creating the program Unraveling Yourself, and
Yes.
what led us together, maybe?
Probably, yes, that's a good idea. Yay! So, well, for me, I actually have a couple of questions for you, Annette. And because you've been working as a body whisperer, professionally, and you will be actually leading this workshop, especially on this body part. I would like to know, and I think we would like to know, how you start engaging with your body first. How it started.
Yeah, actually, it was a long time ago that I really started to look for other different possibilities with my body and with my life. I can't say that I started to engage with my body first. It was more I started engaging with my life. And my body was showing me what's fun and where I wanted to go. So I started to look at kind of pain or what made me feel bad, or I had a huge scoliosis and 2 different lengths of legs, and I changed all this by looking at what causes it. And there was a lot of pain in my life. I always had to use a lot of energy to really make me fit into the expectations of other people. And by stopping this, or at least by looking at it and by allowing the possibility that the symptoms of my body were kind of showing me the way to more happiness, that was most likely the start. And from this moment on, my life only got better.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. And then I changed my profession. I'm very handy. I was a cabinet maker and an architect, and I was manager on a construction site. And then the universe showed me this is not the way you should go. So I changed my profession, and I said, okay, now third one, I study naturopathy. Because when I was little, when I was 2 years old, I think, I gave my father the first massage, and he so loved it,
Wow.
And everyone always wanted to have, oh, Annette, could you please?
You were natural.
Yes. So when I started to learn holistic therapies, everyone was like, oh yeah, finally, there you are. And everyone wanted to be my guinea pig for reflexology and whatever I learned. And I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. And by finishing that, I opened my clinic, and it ran. I didn't have to advertise or anything. And it was every day when I went there, I met another body, other bodies, and I was opening, with having no point of view about a body, allowing and inviting the people to be what they are, and allow the body to show me, okay, what's going on. So I started to listen to the bodies more and more. And even if the person didn't want to look at what was the cause, I started to change energetically, and also with some clearings and other stuff, the physical issues, and that allowed the person to have more ease to change what was causing it. And that just made me really happy all the time.
Wow. That's amazing. Right.
Yeah, and now it is like when I want to change something in my life, I always ask my body for help.
Always.
change.
Mm-hmm. Always involving your body.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, a program where you want to go into a better life, where you want to be more confident with yourself, you want to have the life you really desire, it always have to involve the body.
Yes. Without the body, no overall transformation occur. Mm-hmm. Even when we, even when like there is awareness and consciousness, and then but when the body is left behind, your body feels heavy and like you cannot really get the change you truly desire, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Or maybe you can get the change, but
Mm-hmm.
it is way harder.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Or painful, actually.
Mm-hmm. You really have to struggle in a way. Yes.
And sometimes what I really want to say or point out here is when you've got pain, your body wants to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
By ignoring that pain, it doesn't get better.
Right, because body is trying to tell you something. Mm.
And this is where the name Body Whisperer came into the game, because I was asked, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, kind of, I'm listening to the body and help facilitate the body through the changes. And yeah, we came up with a word Body Whisperer.
Mm-hmm.
And now Dr. Dan here wrote a book about it. It's really funny.
It is. So yes, because you started out like way before, and then like now like Dane wrote a book about it, and then like when I received email from you, and I'm like, is it from Dane or is it from Annette?
No, it's from me. Well, yeah,
Yes,
sometimes.
yes, it's from. Yes, so yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I really started with this body part to change, and when I met you and we were thinking of creation, I thought, yeah, that's amazing. And what could we create together? Because you have a beautiful background of facilitating people to a happier life too, but you have other tools.
Yes.
So where are you coming from? What's your history facilitating?
Well, I hope I'm not gonna bore everybody with like long answer, but well, I was always in the corporate world, for a long time, probably almost about 20 years. I was working for like big companies like Universal, Nike, and Barclays, BlackRock, all the huge firms. And I was always working with executives around like, event area and also PR and like, marketing and stuff. So it was really, really tough world and like working long hours. And I wasn't listening to the body at all, by the way. I thought I was listening to the body, by the way, because I went to the hot spring when I was tired and was doing yoga. And I thought that was listening to the body. But putting the body thing aside, I was always being challenged by, the company. So I thought I have to really outperform. But when there was a limit that I could not do anymore, like I told my boss, which is CEO of the company, I said like, no, there's a limit I could do. I'm working till 8 a.m. till midnight. Sometimes I don't even go home. I stay at the hotel and like but there's a limit. And then my boss was like, you're magnificent, you're like superb, you can do even better if you become more efficient. Why won't you hire a coach? Was his answer. So I was like, well, hiring a coach would solve my problem, then let's hire a coach. Because I didn't even know what coach was at that point, but I hired a British coach and started to talk about my problem. And he didn't give me an answer, but he got me thinking about a lot of things I've never thought about, like the possibilities I've never imagined in my life. And I started to get the idea of what I could do differently in my life. And so, you know, this coaching really helped me, like, you know, find different ways to do things. And at that point, I was not married because I didn't have time to date people, blah blah blah. But I even found my partner from coaching. It's just changed my life. And then my coach said, like, you're really great with people. Why won't you become a coach? But at that point, I was so busy and I was hiring a coach to make my life easier, not to make time for other people. And that was my personal point of view. But as I stepped up in my company, like a lot of people asked me a lot of questions and advice about how can they outperform or have better life, and they were looking for advice. But I thought my advice was not really relevant to their lives because they have different personalities, different background, and they work with different people. So like I thought, like, well, they have their own ideas within themselves and they have brilliant ideas. So I just need to have this conversation to pull out more of that, like more of their resources. And how can I be that was my question. And I remembered what my coach said, you're going to be a great coach. So I looked for, you know, some institutions where they provide coaching training. And that's how I started. That was like, I don't know, like long time ago, more than 10 years ago. So I was working at the company, but I was like, I started to go to institutions to become a coach, professional coach. And once I finished coaching training, actually my boss, I also like, you know, my boss also asked me some advice about like what he has to do with his life. And the CEO said, I'm gonna quit the firm and I'm just gonna go back to the UK, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so he's leaving. This is my time for me to become independent. And that's how I became independent in 2015 as a professional coach. And you know, start to engage more with people, you know, outside the company to make their lives better and have happier and fuller life. Until then, I was only like, you know, coaching people within the company after work or like lunch break. But a lot of people say like, when are you going to become independent? And I just knew that I needed to leave when the timing was right. And this timing came and I could not resist anymore. So that's how I started with coaching, and I just enjoyed like every minute of, you know, coaching sessions. But I realized one thing, which was like, you know, sometimes people, when we have coaching sessions, people come in with some issues or problems, and then we dig in deeper. But then, like, you know, there are people like who don't talk about certain things as they want to hide, or there's sometimes like, you know, trauma and that's been hidden for a long time, and they're not like people who come to the coaching sessions are not even aware, like conscious about these trauma because they've been hiding it for such a long time. They pretend that they don't exist anymore. Then like it's very difficult to deal with that during the coaching sessions. So even they seem like they're changing and transforming during the sessions, after they stop coaching sessions, and you know, there was a client I met 2 years afterwards, she went back to the same loop again because she had this like horrible trauma she had, which she never mentioned in a coaching session, and she was always hiding. So I asked the question, like, what can I do and be for these people, like, you know, and how can I go in, go deep into this unconscious area, and then, you know, engage with that, with and I thought that would open more possibilities. And when I asked that, I think it was a few hours later, my friend who is also a coach, she put a Facebook post and she said like, tomorrow bars class, one seat left. And I was like, what is bars? And then like I looked at Access Consciousness bars and I went to the website and I thought, wow, this is very nice. Like this could be something I was looking for. So I just emailed to my coach friend and said, I'm just gonna be there. And then I had my first bars, you know, sessions during the class, and it was marvelous. I think every experience is different, but mine was like I also had like trauma and drama, like, you know, when I was like, you know, working at the big companies, like, you know, I was harassed like sexually, and I was abused, and like, and sometimes like, when you have these experiences, you don't want to talk about it, but even like you have this like feelings which is not expressible. It's like, agony and hatred, and like you also kind of hate yourself for making it happen. It's very difficult, and you're hiding that inside of you. And when I had these bar sessions, a lot of people who abused me appeared during the sessions, like, visually. And I was so afraid. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like, these people are appearing in my dreams or whatever, in my sleep. And then like there is a big pot, and there is a big pot like witch use for making this like bad medicine whatsoever. And these faces started to disappear and melt in this big pot. And then like, after all these faces were gone, I saw beautiful sceneries of like Europe and forest. And then after a while, I think I woke up and I was like, what was that? What was that? I was like, that was weird. And then I tried to remember something, that happened in the past, which was very traumatic. And I remembered everything which happened, but there was no feeling to it anymore. There was no emotions. I just could remember the fact, but no bad feeling. No, like, I don't know, like, no sad feeling, no anger. And I was like, wow, it's amazing. This is something I could share with like all my clients. So I became bars facilitator in a month. And to foundation class and just moved on, and it's been amazing. So, and I started to combine coaching sessions and bar sessions together for my program. So I provide bar session first, and then I clear all these emotions and everything, and then do the coaching sessions. So everybody changed so fast, and then this transformation never goes back. And then usually my clients also take bars class so they can maintain themselves, and just it's been amazing. So I'm so grateful. And also, in addition to like coaching, I also did some leadership program with the institutions I graduated from. So I learned a lot about leadership. And when we say leadership, people think about, oh, yes, you can only be a leader if you're, what do you call it? Probably the president of the company or whatsoever. But leadership is about leading your life, to be a leader of your life and lead your life the way you'd like to. And that's a leadership. There are many, tools you can use to become a great leader in your life. And I thought I gotta share this, in this program with Annette.
Yeah, and also I really like how you described that other people told you, yeah, you should do that. You are great with people, because you were not the leader of your life. Other people had to show you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And with the program that you are, and the coaching and that we offer, it is about being aware of who you are and be the leader. So both of us, you and me, we have been in the unconscious life. And then we both started to ask questions. I was always asking questions like, okay, this, what I've done now, is not leading to the future for the people, or that the symptoms are coming back. So what else is possible? I was always asking, what else is possible? So I was also coming to the access bars. And my clients had also, with their physical issues, that it got better and better, sometimes only by running their bars and being more and more space. And you also chose to be a certified facilitator of access consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did. And yes, I chose that. And initially I wasn't interested at all. Like, I loved foundation, and I thought, like, there are so many facilitators, why do I become one, like, when there are so many of them? But everybody's different. Every facilitator is different. I have my own unique energy, and when I was able to admit that and acknowledge that, I thought, okay, I gotta be a facilitator because I'm unique myself, and I really would like to share this with everybody. And this Unraveling Your Authentic Self program is about that, actually about your uniqueness. It's not about, like, succeeding like everybody else. Like, your success is different from other people. But most of the time in this reality or in this world, people looking at other people's success and trying to imitate that and thinking that's the great success. But actually what you're desiring in your life mostly is very different from what other people are desiring in their lives. And we will dive deep into that area, and we'll find out what you're really looking for in your life together, with not by like on your own, but by us facilitating. But also, you will get a lot of like inspiration from other participants too. So that would be amazing.
Yeah. How does it get any better than
Yes,
this?
how does it get any better than this? So I use all the tools from Access, and I use all the tools I'm using in coaching sessions and leaderships and everything. So I'm very excited about this. And because Annette, you're like, the body person, and also like, you're also deeply connected with the nature and animals, and your way of connect, the way you connect is, I think, very different from other people. Because in Access, body process is always about touching, and which is really important too. But your body sessions works remotely as well, right? That's why we put it in our program.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have ease with getting access to the molecules of the bodies I'm working with. And by my presence and by being me and the thoughts I'm using, I can change your physical issues. So I'm working, actually, some people say it feels like you're touching me, like you were in my room. So I'm really working on you hands-on, but remotely.
How great
That's the
is
best way
that?
to describe.
But I know what you mean, because I have personally experienced Annette's body sessions, which was really like what she explained, actually being touched, even we're in different countries and only connecting online, but it's not like that. It's miraculous.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And really the purpose of this this program, it also displays what is important for us, what we would choose for other people. So if you would like to choose something else, feel free to. But if it is something where you think, oh, I really like what they do and where they want to head to, it's maybe an invitation to just consider and do your research on the Tsunangulator homepage or on my body-whisperer.net homepage. There's more to see.
Annette, you mentioned about tsunagulator. This is like makeup word, actually. It means like tsunagu in Japanese means connection, and I also combine the word translator. So like, I'm hoping that a lot of people connect with their authentic selves and then live their life to the fullest. And I like people to become catalysts for change. And I think this program will make that possible, because like, even we change ourselves, and even we change a couple of people's mindset and stuff, that's still very limited. But if we all become catalysts for change, what this world would be like, in the future, from 10 years from now and 20 years from now, because everybody around you will be inspired for this change.
So what is the purpose, or what is important for you in this world? What do you want to bring in this world with what you're doing?
It will be a wonderful exploration and adventure.
Yeah, I would, my personal goal or target is to have a life that is connected with everything, and where I am present and full of, where I'm really leading, because I'm asking questions and things are starting to actualize. And one thing that I'm asking for is that there's more consciousness on this planet, and more acting together and more acknowledgement. And I like happiness. I want to have happiness on this planet.
Yes, more laughter and happiness, and like just a lot of fun, and lighter will become, the earth will become lighter and happier. So yes, my purpose of life is have happier people, more happier people on this planet, and makes this like, you know, place happier place and the happier planet. So whatever you ask, like you will receive.